Good morning to all of you. So welcome to session 4, unit 1, chemical bonding and water technology. In our previous session we discussed about what is molecular orbital theory, so how to generate molecular orbitals by using linear combination of atomic orbitals approximation method, and how to construct the MO energy level diagrams of some of the molecules like H2 molecule and nitrogen molecule we have seen. And we have also discussed something about what is sp mixing in the case of nitrogen molecule. Now today we will see construction of MO energy level diagrams of O2 molecule and CO molecule. So then we will discuss about the molecular orbital energy level diagrams of some of the octahedral metal complexes. Okay. So the first thing actually, construction of MO energy level diagram of O2 molecule. So first we will see how to construct molecular orbital energy level diagram of O2 molecule. So it is very much similar to the N2 molecule, but there is a slight difference. Okay, so I already mentioned about the sp mixing concept. Sp mixing in the case of various diatomic molecule. So from boron, this is boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine. If you see the outermost electronic configuration of all these elements, this is actually boron 2s1, 2p1, carbon 2s2, 2p1, this is 2s2, 2p2, and this is actually 2s2, 2p3, and this is 2s2, 2p4, and this is 2s2, 2p5, like this. So from boron to fluorine, so gradually the number of electrons enters into the p orbitals. So due to this, up to this one, up to nitrogen atom, so if you form corresponding diatomic molecules like B2 or C2, N2 kind of molecules, so in those cases there is a sp mixing problem. So why it is happening actually? So in these three cases, the energy difference between the 2s level and 2p level actually very less when compared to the energy difference between the 2s and 2p levels in the case of oxygen or fluorine case, because here we have a more number of electrons available in the oxygen atom or fluorine atom. So due to more number of electrons available in the oxygen fluorine atom, so there is some kind of repulsions between the 2s electrons and 2p electrons. There is some kind of repulsions between the 2s electrons, 2p electrons. Therefore, automatically energy gap increases in this manner. But here we have a less number of electrons only, either less than half-fill configuration or up to the half-fill configuration. So due to this reason, in these three cases, between the s orbital, 2s orbital and 2p orbital, so the repulsion is actually a little bit less. Therefore, the energy of these two orbitals actually very close to each other. So that means these two s orbital can easily mix with 2p orbital. But that is not possible in the case of oxygen or fluorine kind of molecules. That means O2 or F2 kind of molecules. So that means, so sp mixing gradually decreases in this manner from boron to fluorine. If you go to the boron to fluorine, so sp mixing current actually decreases, and if you in the reverse direction, sp mixing actually increases like this manner. So we have already seen what is the MO energy level diagram of N2 molecule. Due to the sp mixing, there is a reverse of energies of the 2p, sigma 2p and pi 2p orbitals actually. So now let us see what is the MO energy level diagram of O2 molecule also in this case. So first we have to see what is the electronic configuration of oxygen atom, then we can understand how to construct the corresponding diagram. Okay. So what is the oxygen electronic configuration? This is actually 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So that means 1s orbital contains 2 electrons like this, 2s orbitals contains 2 electrons like this, and 2p orbitals 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So like this we have 2 oxygen atom in the case of O2 molecule. This is first one and this is another one. So between them there is a bonding between them. Let us see what type of bonding exists between the 2 oxygen atom in the case of O2 molecule. So that means if we want to consider MO energy level diagram of O2 molecule, what is the case? We have to go through the linear combination process. So generally linear combination involves if energies of the 2 atomic orbitals matches each other and symmetry matches each other, then there is a linear combination process. So in this case, these 1s atomic orbitals can undergo linear combination with another 1s orbital available in another oxygen atom. Similarly, this 2s orbital can undergo linear combination with another 2s orbital available in the other oxygen atom. Similarly, these 2p orbitals can undergo linear combination with 2p orbitals available in the other oxygen atom. So let us see one by one in this case. So first, for timing I am arranging this one. So this is the 1s atomic orbital of first oxygen atom, and this is the 1s atomic orbital of second oxygen atom. Second oxygen atom in this manner. Both are actually having same energy, and this 1s orbital actually contains 2 electrons like this, and this one also contains 2 electrons like this. So whenever there is a linear combination between them, there is a formation of corresponding bonding sigma 1s and sigma star 1s like this. Okay. Like this. So now these 4 electrons enters into the bonding sigma 1s orbital, anti-bonding sigma star 1s orbital like this. First 2 electrons 1, 2. The second 2 electrons 1, 2. Okay. So this is the first thing. The second thing actually we have a 2s orbital. So this is the energy of the 2s atomic orbital, and this is the energy of the another 2s orbital. Now these two 2s orbitals actually undergoes linear combination, and there is a formation corresponding sigma 2s and sigma star 2s. So let us say this is a sigma 2s and this is actually sigma star 2s like this. So each 2s orbital actually contains 2 electrons like this. In the case of oxygen, this 2s orbital also contains 2 electrons like this. Now these 4 electrons enters into the sigma 2s and sigma star 2s. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we have actually 2p orbitals. Okay. So let us say these are the 2p orbitals of oxygen atom. So this is 2p Z, 2p Y, 2p X. Similarly, this side also we have a 2p orbitals, 2p Z, 2p Y, 2p X like this. So how many electrons available in 2p orbitals? 4 electrons. 1, 2, 3, and this is actually 4. And here also 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now these 2p orbitals undergoes linear combination and produces corresponding bonding orbitals and anti-bonding orbitals. But we know that in case of 2p orbitals, we have a 3 different 2p orbitals like px, py, pz. So among those 3, we have to fix one of the axes as the bonding axis. If you fix z axis as the bonding axis, if you fix z axis as a bonding axis like this, So whenever PZ combining undergoes linear combination in this manner, so there is a formation sigma 2pz orbital, sigma star 2pz orbital. But other combinations like PX, PY, PX combination actually produces pi bonding orbitals, pi star anti-bonding orbitals. Now the question is, in the case of oxygen molecule, so there is a huge energy gap between the 2s and 2p orbitals because of the more number of electrons available in the 2p orbitals and 2 electrons available in the 2s orbitals. Due to this huge energy gap between them, in this case there is no sp mixing. In this case there is no sp mixing. If there is no sp mixing between the 2s and 2p orbitals, so first of all we have a sigma 2pz orbital, then we have a pi 2py, pi 2px orbitals. Here the lowest energy actually sigma 2pz. First we have a sigma 2pz orbital because of the lack of sp mixing in the case of oxygen molecule. And then we have a pi orbitals. This is pi 2p, let us say x, this is pi 2p y, like this. And similarly we have a pi star 2px, 2py, and this is pi star 2px, like this. And finally we have a sigma star 2pz also. All these are just anti-bonding orbitals and these are actually bonding orbitals. So now this total 8 electrons, each p orbital contains 4 electrons. Here 4 electrons are available, here also 4 electrons available. So these total 8 electrons actually occupying this bonding orbitals. If any more number of electrons available, goes to the anti-bonding shape. So let us fill the electrons. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So total 6 electrons are available here. But total how many electrons are available? Total 8 electrons. Already 6 electrons occupied by bonding 2p orbitals. The remaining 2 electrons goes to the pi star anti-bonding, like this, because these 2 orbitals having same amount of energy. So first each electron enters into each orbital, then only there is a pairing process actually possible. So like this, in case of O2 molecule, so there is a formation of corresponding bonding orbitals and corresponding anti-bonding orbitals in this manner. So due to lack of xp mixing in this case, always sigma 2pz orbital actually having lower energy when compared to pi 2px and pi 2py orbital. But in the case of nitrogen molecule, that is actually just reverse in manner, because in that case there is a sp mixing concept because of the less energy gap between the 2s and 2p orbitals. Okay, now let us calculate what is the bond strength in the case of O2 molecule, whether the O2 molecule is paramagnetic in nature or diamagnetic in nature. We will see all those details. So first we will calculate the bond order value in this case. Okay. So what is the bond order formula? So bond order is equal to half into the number of electrons available in bonding orbitals. For example, in this case, there are two ways you can calculate the bond order value. One thing actually we have to count all the bonding electrons, all the anti-bonding electrons. That is one way. Otherwise, we can skip up to 2s level. You just use only the outermost level, like P2P level also we can use. From that also we can able to calculate the bond order value. So here I am going to calculate a bond order value from both the ways. First I would like to include all the bonding electrons, all the anti-bonding electrons, then we will see how much value it is coming. And then in the later case we will use only, I am going to use only 2p orbitals, and I will calculate the bond order value. So according to this diagram, for example, this is one of the bonding orbital, and this is also another bonding orbital, and these three also bonding orbitals only. Yes or no? Sigma 2s bonding, sigma 1s bonding, sigma 2s bonding, and sigma 2pz, pi 2px, pi 2py. All these are actually bonding orbitals only. And what are the other things? Sigma star 2p is anti-bonding, sigma star 2s anti-bonding, and pi star orbitals anti-bonding levels. Now let us see how many electrons available in the bonding orbitals. In this bonding orbitals we have 2 electrons. In this case we have 2 more electrons, total 4, and here we have 6 electrons. Then how many total bonding electrons? Total actually 10. minus. Then count the number of antibonding electrons. Here we have a 2 antibonding electrons. Here also we have a 2 antibonding electrons, and here we have a 2 antibonding electrons. How many? 2 plus 2 plus 2, total 6. So 6 electrons, 6 antibonding electrons are available. So that is actually off into, so this is actually 4. That means this value actually 2. So bond order value for the O2 molecule actually 2, like this. This is one way. So let us see only the outermost case. That means just consider the only 2p orbitals linear combination process. From that also we can able to calculate the bond order value. According to that concept, in case of 2p orbitals, how many bonding electrons are available? How many antibonding are available? So again, off into, how many bonding electrons are available? 6 bonding electrons are available. How many antibonding electrons are available? 2 antibonding electrons are available. Again, this value also off into 4, that is equal to 2. So like this you can calculate bond order value in 2 different ways. One thing actually, just count all the bonding electrons, all the antibonding electrons, or just use only the outer shell also. We can be able to calculate the corresponding bond order value, because the inner side we have both bonding as well as antibonding electrons like this. They will cancel each other. So by like this we can able to calculate bond order value. But in both the cases, what is the bond order value? 2 only. So bond order value 2 means what? If bond order value 1 means there is a single bond exists between the 2 different atoms. If the bond order value 2 means double bond exists between the given molecule. So in this case, our molecule actually O2 molecule, that means it is something like this, O double bond O. So one among these 2 bonds, first bond actually sigma, other bond actually pi bond. Like this, in case of O2 molecule, bond order value actually 2, that means double bond exists between the 2 different oxygen atom. That means this is one of the most strong bond when compared to the, in compared to the H2 molecule. In case of H2 molecule, we have only single bond only. Yes or not? So this bond strength actually more when compared to H2 molecule. So, but in the case of nitrogen molecule, we got actually bond order value 3. Yes or not? So that is more stable, still more having more bond strength value. So like this, you can able to calculate bond order value. Now the another question actually, whether the O2 molecule is paramagnetic in nature or diamagnetic in nature. So how to decide the given molecule is paramagnetic in nature or diamagnetic in nature? Depending on the how many unpaired electrons available in the corresponding molecular orbitals. If you see the electrons available in the corresponding molecular orbitals, this oxygen molecule contains 2 unpaired electrons like this. The correspond one of the antibonding level, pi star antibonding level consists 2 unpaired electrons like this. And due to presence of 2 unpaired electrons in this manner, O2 molecule actually exists in paramagnetic in nature. So it is actually paramagnetic in nature. Whereas N2 molecule diamagnetic in nature, or H2 molecule, these two are actually diamagnetic in nature, because in both the cases we don't have any unpaired electrons in the corresponding MO energy level diagram. But in the case of O2 molecule, we got actually 2 unpaired electrons in this manner, and that is the reason O2 molecule actually paramagnetic in nature. But the same point actually not properly explained by a valence bond theory. According to valence bond theory, oxygen atom undergoes sp3 hybridization, sp2 hybridization, and there is a formation corresponding to O2 molecule in this manner. But according to that, we cannot explain the formation nature of the O2 molecule. So valence bond theory failed to explain what is the magnetic behavior of the O2 molecule. According to valence bond theory, O2 molecule actually diamagnetic in nature. But if you see the experimental results, O2 molecule actually paramagnetic in nature. So that point actually explained by this molecular orbital approach only. So that is the reason molecular orbital theory actually most advanced one. It is useful to understand the bond behavior and bond strength value, and whether there is a diamagnetic compound or paramagnetic compound also. So this is something about the formation of MO or construction of MO energy level diagram of O2 molecule. So in this case there is no sp mixing, because of the huge energy gap between the 2s and 2p orbitals, and always sigma 2p actually having lower energy when compared to the pi 2p orbitals. So then we have a antibonding levels like this. Then you have to fill the electrons according to the energy level like this. Okay. So for this molecule, if you want to write the MO energy molecular orbital electronic configuration, how to write that one? So in this case, so what is the first one? We have a sigma 1s2, then sigma star 1s2, then sigma 2s2, then sigma star 2s2, yes or no? Sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2. Then we have a this one. First we have a sigma 2pz 2, then pi 2px equal to pi 2py. Both contains 2 electrons like this, and then we have actually pi star 2px is equal to 1 electron here, and pi star 2py 1 electron like this, like this. So the rest, this one actually, the last one actually sigma star 2pz, but here actually 0 electrons. So like this we can able to write the electronic molecular configuration. Like this. So this is something about the construction of MO energy level diagram of O2 molecule. So in a similar fashion, this is actually one of the homodiatomic molecule. O2 molecule actually, O2 molecule or H2 molecule or C2N2 molecule. All these are actually examples for the homodiatomic molecule. Homo means same atoms are available. So both are actually same atoms. So in the case of homodiatomic molecules, so construction of MO level diagram actually something like this only. So we have to think about the whether sp mixing possible in that case or not, depending upon the energy gap between the 2s and 2p orbitals. So we can able to generate corresponding MO energy level diagram. Now let us see the example for the heterodiatomic molecule. One of the example for the heterodiatomic molecule, and in that case how to construct the MO energy level diagram. So in our syllabus we have actually one of the molecule like CO molecule. So how to form this CO molecule? What is the MO energy level diagram of this CO molecule? This is one of the heterodiatomic molecule because we have carbon as well as another atom actually oxygen. Now let us see the MO energy level diagram in the case of CO molecule. Okay.